Welcome to Heart of the Matter podcast. I am your host, Sherry J, and this is Heart of the Matter podcast. So, welcome back to another episode, actually, episode 28, in which we're going to be discussing a great topic today. As you know, normally our podcast is at 7 o'clock. So, I kind of snuck in 30 minutes today and going forward just because my church actually is now starting back the Bible study, and I have to be in Bible study from 7 to 7:30, and then I come here. So I do apologize that we did have to move the time some, but all is well because this platform is only done for one purpose, and that's to bring men and women together. We discuss issues that matter most to our heart, as far as fatherlessness, relationships, different things that plague our society and our Black community, as well as to bring glory to our Father, right, in heaven. And so, if only one person gets this message, that's all that matters, right? So again, excuse me because I had a lot going on, as always, and I took a long break. Like, I haven't been on for like 2 weeks or a week, I think, because of the holidays and things. So I'm getting back into the groove of everything. So please forgive me. So hey Tony, how you doing? I see you're on. I'm waiting on everybody else to come up in here. I know again we changed the time 30 minutes. But that's no excuse. Y'all still can come out. Hey Melita, hey sis. And then my co-host Alan, I don't know if he's watching or not, but he was on, but I actually had to change the link. So I sent you another link if you are on. I sent you another link, so hopefully he gets it soon. But how's everybody doing? Tony, Melina, how you guys doing today? Like, I know me, like I said, I'm getting back into the groove of this. I'm getting back to the groove of a lot of things. Coming in the new year strong. Just trying to pretty much increase my faith with God, my walk with God, and just trying to do different things as far as putting him first. Not to say I never put God first, right? But to say that I'm being more intentional about it. And so that's me, and that's what I'm doing. Um, what about you guys? What are you doing? Like, how are you guys doing? How did you bring your new year in? Different things like that. I want to hear it from you. And please share this out so we can get more people into the live. I know some of our originals aren't here, but it's okay. We're not going to worry about that. But I would like for you guys to share it for me. Um, I got, like, my son is in the background because his TV is broke. And then also, my husband is doing the studio thing. So he's downstairs and he's playing music. So if you hear a concert going on, that's what it is. Okay. Um, all right. I don't hear anybody talking. Y'all not saying much on here. I'm just waiting on people to come in. Please share this out for me. Hey, sis. How nice of you to join me, Tonya. I'm trying to get more people in. Tony said, let's turn up then. Okay, we're going to turn up regardless. Okay. Let me just make sure my co-host is good. Uh, okay. So we're going to get started. So this topic we're talking about, are men the prize or the catch in the relationship? And you guys, this stemmed from the topic of Simone Biles and her husband, Jonathan, who actually, well, her name is Owens now, who actually is a safety in the. He's a safety on what team is that, guys? I just saw it, right? But I don't know. I don't remember the team he's on. But he's a safety, up and coming safety. And he had an interview going on where he said, he really didn't know who Simone was, and kind of like he was the catch. And we're going to talk about that. I mean, what do you guys think, fellas, ladies? Do you guys believe that the woman is the catch, or that do you believe the husband is the catch? Do you believe in it, that there is something as a catch? Like, I want to hear your opinions before I give you my opinion on it. I want to hear your opinion about it. Um, but I will go ahead and play a couple videos for you guys. So if you didn't hear about the topic, you don't know what it's about and what the uproar was, because the world, to me, we always just make a uproar, not we, but the world, about nothing. When I watched the interview, I'm like, it wasn't even that serious to me. Like, I think more so the hosts of the people who were doing the podcast were trying to coerce him to say that really she wasn't the catch, and kind of putting them between each other, like making them be at odds. It really wasn't, to me, it really wasn't the husband's fault. And I think him being a young man, I know she's 26, they're pretty young. They have to be taught how to have relationships. Like, so I just think that, the world just takes stuff and runs with it and makes it the worst. They were saying, oh, she needs to leave him. He doesn't deserve her. And I'm just really like, are y'all serious over him saying that he was the catcher prize? This is ridiculous. Like, we shouldn't even think like that as people. Like, it's just crazy. So I'm gonna go ahead and play the first video. And this video I took from The View, and y'all gonna see how nasty they are. I do not watch The View because to me it's like a bunch of old women who just bicker. They complain about things all day. It's never anything good to me. That's my opinion. So I'm gonna go ahead and play the video, and Whoopi is talking in this video about Simone and what happened. So if you haven't heard of it, you'll get a little bit a taste here. Just one second.
And this is very important. Listen to what I'm saying. 7-time Olympic medal winning gymnast Simone Biles, okay? 7 times, okay? 7 times, okay? She's married to Green Bay Packers safety Johnathon Owens, and they talked about how competition has played a role in their relationship as well. Take a look.
Literally have been on that for a couple of days, man, and it's like she pops up, and I'm like, let me see what this is. Gymnastics, I ain't never, I never really paid attention to gymnastics, so it piqued my curiosity.
You was really the catch in.
I always say the men the catch, man. I always say we the catch, man.
Yeah, so she really booked you.
She did, though.
Who do you think is the better athlete in the house?
I think we're good at our own sports. We've tried to pin each other against on like difficulty, ability, and all of that stuff. So at the end of the day, gymnastics is harder if he agrees or not.
What I would like to say, he knew who she was. She was on a Wheaties box. Everybody knows. There she goes. Everybody knows who Simone Biles is. I don't know who he is. And so,
Wait, Sonny, the part that got me is when he said, I always think the man is the catch. Have you met other men?
Yeah.
And are you listening to yourself right now?
Yeah.
Okay, I cannot believe.
I want more for her. I hope she's happy. No one ever knows what's going on in relationships, but she is the catch.
Okay, but in defense, they're a very beautiful and adorable couple, and they actually, if you follow them on Instagram, they seem very happy.
Yeah.
So he explains that when he was in training during camp during the Olympics in July and early August, and he didn't have NBC, he was in college, so
Did he go to the supermarket?
I get she is the greatest of all time, so he should have known, but I give him some grace. I think they're a very
He saw that Wheaties box.
Biles wasn't big for just the Olympics. She actually transcends the Olympics. And the other thing is gymnastics is much harder. No shade to football players, because here it comes, but like football players run into each other. Like you bang into each other, you throw a ball, you hope you catch.
All right, so you guys heard what they said on The View. For the football guys, she said, you guys don't do anything but run into each other. I know y'all gonna be mad about that. But what did you guys think about the live? Like, when you saw the interview with Johnathon Owens, the safety, I mean, to me, like I said, he was talking about how he met her. So he met her through a dating app, which, she said hi, he said hi, and pretty much, I guess she reached out first to him. And that's why I think he said he was the catch, because she reached out. And from there, the relationship progressed. So, okay, so I see there's a Hey, Albertine. Hey, Anthony. Hey, Alexander. I'm just gonna pause and say hey to everybody. Hey, and Alan's inviting so many people. My awesome co-host. Yes, he is great. So yeah. If we look at the actual topic here, right, in the interview, that was just a snippet. You would have to actually go back on YouTube to see the full like interview, because I actually watched the interview, and again, the guys on the Pivot, it was a podcast called The Pivot. To me, some of those guys were actually trying to coerce him into saying that his wife wasn't like the catch pretty much, or that he was more than what he was. And she even chimed in and said like, hold on, wait, you know they're trying to put us against each other. And so I feel like, a lot of times in relationships, this happens and we don't recognize it because we both want some type of recognition on things. And it's nothing wrong with getting recognition, but we all have to know our places in the relationship. So, I don't feel like that. To me, I don't feel like he did this intentionally and on purpose. I feel like he actually was just saying like, she sought me out. I really didn't even know anything about her. But of course, they actually found a video of him saying that he did like gymnasts in the past. So it's just crazy. We're gonna talk more about this topic. I'm gonna bring my co-host Alan on if he's ready. You're ready? Yep, you're ready to come on, and we're gonna talk more. Hey, what's upper?
How you doing? How you doing?
You eating today? You eating today? Because every day, every Tuesday, we got something new going on.
Eat that, eat that, yeah, eat that. Yeah, yeah,
Um,
you see the black, I see all the blasphemy. I mean, it's just. Do you see? Like my thing is, how's everybody doing? Let me just go ahead.
yes. Did you hear the
Yeah,
video? Did you hear the video, Alan?
yeah, I see. I heard some of it. I heard where she was like, she's the prize, and said, and Whoopi Goldberg said she's the prize too, and seven-time gymnast, and they did all this stuff, making it seem like he totally discredited all that. You talking about that video?
Yeah. That's what
Yeah, yeah,
I'm like.
yeah.
He said he didn't understand that they
And you
was
talking about
talking.
he didn't mean to say no. He meant exactly what he said. And my thing is, in retrospect, the way he is the prize, in retrospect. Now, in her profession, she's greater than him in his profession. Absolutely. I mean, that's not even that is not even debatable here. He would have to be the greatest safety ever to be on par to be what she is to her sport.
Right.
But you know what I find hilarious,
Hold on, Alan. I want
not
to ask you something. I'm not a football or basketball
yeah.
lady. So, what safety is that like the lowest position in football?
No, that's not. There is no lowest position. It's all everything is equally something. It is the safety is the last line of defense actually for
Oh,
the defense. So when somebody makes a mistake, it's the safety's job to actually make up for that mistake. So a lot of times they're very versatile football players, and they're a rare find.
okay, because I know on the pivot they were saying like, well, you can always work yourself up or work your way up from a safety, and I'm like, it's the safety like like just a filling. I didn't understand because I don't
Mm-mm.
really understand football and the lingo. So
It's okay. It's okay. It's the starting position on the
okay,
defense. There's
so it's the
there's
start.
defensive line, yes, linebackers, corners, and then there's safeties.
Okay, cool. So I got that understanding now. So, but see, my thing is, even if you take salary out, and like I said, I know she's like the greatest in her profession. He isn't, right?
He still make more money than her. Let's go ahead and add that in there.
So he's still making more money.
Yeah,
Okay, I don't know. Look, I don't know this. I just know she's making a lot of money too. But my thing is,
I
right?
do.
I don't feel like the young man was actually trying to be defense or like derogatory or even try
He
to be
he
downplay
wasn't.
the position.
He wasn't. All it was. Ooh, go ahead, Smith. Go ahead.
Okay, from what I saw, I'm a woman looking at this because before this came out, I seen everybody posting like She needs to leave him. Simone need to leave him. He's no good. I would never be with a man who doesn't value me and think I'm not worth anything, thinks he's the prize. And I was just like, what happened? I thought it was such a big thing that happened when I go check the video out. It's like he's just like, no, I mean, I really met her on the app and she reached out to me first. And I'm like, okay, well, I kind of
Which was
understand why
factual.
you say that. Yeah, because he's like, she reached out to me. So I couldn't understand why they made it was so big. Like everybody's like, divorce him, leave him. And I'm like, are
I
y'all
mean,
serious? They just
because
got married.
yeah, it's amazing. Because if a white man would have said this, or if a man would have been a different race would have said this, it'd have been all fun and games. Okay, you know what I'm saying? It'd have been
Crazy.
all good. Okay,
I don't get
it's
it.
hilarious.
We gotta
But
really
prime
stop this.
example. But prime example. Let's have some fun. Prime example. He was just months ago the greatest husband of all time, or greatest fiance of all time, when he flew out from training camp and flew to a different country to fly because his woman needed him because she was having a mental breakdown in the Olympics and she was ready to stop. Remember that? And he got in front of the media and protected his wife. He was such a provider, such a protector. See, this is what you need. This is what you love. This is what we asked for. He was all of that. Okay. And the moment he told the truth about his dating experience with his wife, all of a sudden he ain't no good. He's done. Divorce him. Leave him. And you want to know why you in last place. You want to know why you gonna stay in last place. See what I'm
No.
saying? Like, okay. And with that mentality, this shows that mentality. This shows really why American black women, for the most part, is just ready to just leave at the drop of a hat. That's all this shows. It's like so. Just months ago, him him being good, him being there, protecting, being what his woman needed, wasn't his true self. When he said how his dating experience went with the woman he was with, when
Right.
he was with, about the truth about their dating experience, that said that is null and void. That's who he is leaving.
Leave him
And
right
you
now. Divorce him.
and you want to know why? I say prenup. And you want to know why you a forever girlfriend. And you want to know why? Because that's exactly why.
Yeah. It's really sad in society like that. It's society is so fickle, so you cannot ever trust their emotions. Like this is why everything you do has to be rooted in the word, has to be rooted in have a solid foundation, or you will be just like Twitter and Instagram. Oh, he's no good. One minute he's the best, the next minute he's no good, and you're ready to leave over something
Mm-hmm.
so small. I'm gonna play a video of this a reel that pretty much how they did pictures and showed pretty much how they're living their life. They're not even bothered by what is being said, and I'm just so happy because they're a young couple and they could easily
Mm-hmm.
be persuaded because they are young
Oh,
and really
absolutely,
sweated.
Simone. Like I'm
So,
good. My baby is the prize.
proud of
What's that
her.
gonna be like? Oh.
Yeah, I'm really happy for her. Like,
What do
oh
you
my goodness. I'm
mean? You're strong and independent. You're the greatest gymnast of all time. Why don't you
gonna get
know
on my
and
nerves.
stand in your power?
Right. You got so much power to not take this, but hold on, here it is.
Simone Biles and her husband, Johnathon Owens, have responded to the backlash from the podcast interview he did where he recalls meeting Simone and basically said that he didn't know who she was before they started dating and that he was the catch when most of us don't even know his name. We only know that he's Simone's husband. Johnathon shared pictures with Simone on Instagram writing, "Unbothered, just know we locked in over here." And Simone commented saying, "For life." Yesterday, Simone also posted a picture from their wedding writing, "Mood." And Johnathon also shared this on his Instagram story, writing, "You never cease to amaze me. You deserve it, baby. So proud of you." So in the podcast interview, Johnathon claimed that he never really followed gymnastics before he started dating Simone. But of course, Twitter did its thing and uncovered old tweets from 2012. At one point, he tweeted saying, "Low-key, I'd be hoping that the people from the other nations fall when they be doing gymnastics." Here are some of his other tweets. He even tweeted saying, "Why is there an Asian coach for the USA girls gymnast?" So clearly he followed it at least a little bit. And if you follow gymnastics, you know who Simone Biles is. Simone Biles and her husband, Johnathon.
Okay. So did you seen that video?
Yes,
What did
and
you say that?
bigs up. You get better and better on the video. Big ups on that to
Okay,
you.
but you
Keep
see
doing
me, I'm
your thing.
trying. Okay, I'm not taking it at all. Face like, do this for me, please. I'm hiring. It's like no. But did you see Twitter went and dug up all his dirt? I guess not dirt, but
Mhm.
him saying things about gymnasts but that
I can support gymnastics and not and know I like gymnasts. And people are like, he said he likes gymnasts. What football player don't like a 19, 20-year old beautiful girl slash young
athletic.
woman that can athletically do everything you need her to do in any position you need her to do it? And what football player not gonna like that? Okay, oh, you say he like gymnasts? Duh. Like who don't? Like,
Yeah,
what do you mean?
well,
Like,
I think
that's a
they're trying
general
to say,
statement.
but see what they're trying to pull out is like, oh, well, you said you don't even watch the gymnastics or gymnasts, but yet 2012 you were all over it. You were saying this.
Let, let me
It's
give you one better. You know Juanita Jordan, which is Michael Jordan's the black wife,
like,
not the one now. She said the same thing. She didn't know Michael Jordan when he approached her and stuff like that. Shawnee O'Neal, she made a big thing. She didn't even know Shaq when he approached her. And it was all about it's so many women saying to athletic people and athletic men that they didn't know their guy before they got at them as some type of flex. But however, when it's flipped and he tells the truth about his dating experience that Simone Biles has confirmed, you're getting mad because the story didn't go the way you wanted to go.
so do
That's
you
what we
think
talk about here.
right? Listen, like I said, when I saw the interview, because I watched things for myself, I didn't pick up that he was really trying to throw shade at her. I did not
Yeah,
get that from
because
the
you
young man
actually see
at all.
love. You're not looking for negativity.
Yeah, and maybe that is the case that you have to be looking for that type of stuff. Because I'm like, okay, he just really saying like, now maybe I've been like I would have probably been like, what, a little bit, but she was talking.
No,
He was
no.
like, baby, ain't like that. She was like, I know they trying to put us against each other. So they didn't show that part, of course, but
Mm-hmm.
I just
Mm-hmm. But it's
up there his dirt. I'm like, oh my goodness, this 2012, this is like 10 years later. Come on, y'all. Like maybe he's not that interested in that sport anymore. He doesn't even watch it as much. So I don't know. I know who she is just because she has been everywhere, but I didn't
I
know
don't care.
I didn't know a lot about her at all.
It's a flex. It's a flex. It's a flex. And yes, y'all. My thing is, is it a flex? Can it be an ego boost that she was in his DM first? Yes. Am I very happy that if I'm him, that the number one gymnast of all time, beautiful Simone Biles, I can guarantee body count was only him or that last boyfriend she had. Okay, so literally probably body count on two. Okay, so I get a woman one who's done with her career before her 30s, so she's going to be ready to have a lot of children.
Settle
So she's already had her career, so she's going to be fine being a stay-at-home mom. So you have all those boxes checked, and you think that wasn't part of the reason she was chosen. Let me put it this way: Jonathan still makes more money than she do, even though she's number one in her profession. And on top of him making money that he makes, he literally could get another version of her. How many black men like him that are 23 years old and already worth $22 million? Number one, and then how many of those are a starter in their profession and made it to the top of their profession at that young age, just like her? How many of them ain't, people ain't in trouble? He's college educated, by the way. He has a master's degree, so
seems like
he's already college ed. Huh?
seems like a very like well-rounded young man, honestly.
And very much so. And as you can see, a light skin. So a lot of females would love that dude. So again, y'all look light skin. Okay, but and then so you literally have that, and again, Simone now, what would Simone find that's like that for
I
for
think
him on
Simone
her
can
end?
still, like, because of her class, I think she still could find somebody. I don't know the people
It
that's
would
out
be
there.
a lot harder. That's all I'm saying. And also to get the personality and not be intimidated with the fact that she is athletically GOAT. Like she is the GOAT of her sport, bruh. She is the Michael Jordan of the LeBron James and the Joe Montanas and the Ray Lewises of her sport. You
She's
got
a
to understand, as an athlete, as a man, that takes a lot to deal with a woman being that way. Part of what attracts women to men is that, but men are attracted to women not because she's Simone Biles. I think that's like not as much as a woman would be attracted to a man that is accomplished. You know what I'm saying? So, for real, it would just be a lot harder for her to do it. So that's what makes him the prize. How many black men are like him, and how many black women are like her? Not saying career wise. I'm saying looks wise, body wise, youth wise, things of that nature. Because that's what comes into what a man's choosing. I'm not picking a girl that's a gymnast over a model if she's finer and more combative, what I'm saying, less combative and more cooperative with me, that more gets along with me. I'm picking that. And her being a gymnast isn't going to usurp that. But I guarantee a man working construction versus a nigga who played, a guy who plays in the NBA or the NFL, that's going to help usurp the dude over the construction worker. See what I'm saying? Okay, so we ain't gonna lie this evening. Okay, we ain't gonna lie this evening. Okay.
So Alan you're saying that he is the prize because he technically still makes more money than her, right?
He do.
And if he was to leave the relationship, he would have a better chance of finding another woman than she would at
Find the
finding a
man
man
up to
that's on
par.
his level, that's his caliber of man, right?
Thank you, because that's what women date. They gotta date the same or up. I'm not dating down. They gotta date the same. Okay, so if you're going through that, it's gonna be a lot harder, sweetheart.
Okay, so that's your take. I'm gonna say my take in a second. I want to go through some of the comments. I see Alexander. Hey, he said, I think both are the prize for real. Okay. Tony said, but salary wise, safety is low. So Tony said safety actually doesn't make a lot of money as being the safety.
Man, to who? The quarterback standards? Stop it.
Alexander said probably one of the hardest positions is safety. Okay.
Absolutely.
Hey Rita. She said, hey. Alexander said black men are the most hated. I know we want to change that narrative. Tony said black men is the least respected. If a white guy said this, wouldn't nothing been said. Wow.
Yeah, he still would have been daddy, my daddy. That boy.
Alexander said, "Is these type of people who just say anything just to start something?" Yeah, I agree. Like they just want to mess up, and it's sad. Penelope, hey girl, she said that wasn't their point. Okay, I think she's referring to the Twitter, right? If you're still on, let me know. I think she's saying that. I guess them digging up the Twitter comments, something wasn't their point. So you have to elaborate on that for me, Penelope. Melita said, I don't know most sports players personally. Yeah, me either. That's why I had to get educated because I'm like, Penelope said he makes more money than Simone. So she's like,
yes.
Sure.
Yes.
So as a safety, he's making more money. Okay. Even though she's been doing this for years.
He made $4 million, nigga, this year alone. Simone has made $10 million her whole entire career.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, hey. Alexander said it's the men versus women thing that's killing our people more than the shooting. You exactly. And it's so right. We keep putting each other against each other. Like we do not have to be equals in everything. We're not supposed to be equals in everything.
No.
Like,
and that's a reality nobody wants to accept.
Like, that's the whole point. Ashley said, nope, just Googled them. She makes more than him. Well, he said she makes more than him. So I don't know, Alan, you want to check? Because Ashley said she just.
I'll double check. I'll double check that because she probably went to the first thing she saw and then clicked on it.
Ashley, did you go to the first thing you saw?
That fits my narrative. I'm clicking that one.
No, actually, she'd be pretty fair though. She's level headed. Melita said, if I had a choice, I wouldn't choose a man that's famous by playing sports. That's that particular part would be a con, not a pro for me, especially if I was in her position. And I understand what you're saying because again, you have to fight with all these women and competition and he's in his
So
limelight,
again, a man that's up to par that would actually be able to keep you in line because you know he has options. You don't want that pressure, so you would go ahead and be like, "Let me go ahead and pick the other guy, so I can seem like the prize to him." I got you.
Well, see, she may not even be wanting to be a prize. I know Melita, she's not looking to be a prize. She just, again, some women don't want that caliber of pressure because the man has a lot of pressure on him. And so you have to stick by that man's side. So if he got pressure, you know what I'm saying? It fall on you too. So,
Absolutely.
um,
You supposed to be ready for that. You supposed to be ready for war.
Penelope said, I know she does. I'm trying to figure out where he's getting his figures from. Okay, so she said okay, Alan got to go look up his stuff now. Alan, you got to look because everybody's saying she's making
All
more.
the females are saying that. So yeah, I'll look it up.
Tony is
That's
saying
how convenient.
she said safety is low compared to all positions in football. Look it up. Simone makes more money than him. Okay, so this is a man. Tony saying Simone actually makes more money than he does.
Now
As
y'all trying to pick a mind.
she said he don't even make 1 million a year. She makes over 10 million a year. Wow. Okay. Wow.
They got well, some. I don't surprise that with endorsements and things of that nature. But that is not her bill every year. No, it's not. Okay, she doesn't make that. It's based off of it's based off of also competition. See what I mean? So Simone Biles ain't competing as much as she used to. She competes on all the big ones and wins the big ones, which is good. That's a good jump. And then endorsements is the other thing. But 10 million, she's not making 10 million a year. But it's cool. It's cool. Because when I say this, I'm hating. I'm
You lost that battle.
doing this. So okay.
Okay. Albertine said, so listen, I do not believe that Jonathan had any ill intent to come across chauvinistic, excuse me. However, it's the old saying, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. I feel that Jonathan should be mindful that he and his wife is a public figure, and these media folks and bloggers are always gonna pick apart what they say. I feel like the prize statement wasn't necessary. I understand that they may have been that may has been his I'm sorry, that may have been his experience while dating, but some things are better left unsaid. And that's spoken from a wise woman right there, because what she said is wisdom. Some things you don't have to say all things when you're in a relationship, and especially in the limelight, which of course he does not know this because I'm sure he's young. He's only 28. He has not been educated on these things, nor has she. And when they're in the public light, they're egging you on to say things like this. And he really didn't even say prize. He said he was the catch. They asked him, "Do you think you were the catch?" And he's like, "Yeah, I think I'm the catch because." And
How
he
dare a
spilled.
black man have confidence?
And
How
yeah,
dare he?
Melita says, but I agree both is the prize. I do think the whole argument is unnecessary. I do too.
Now
I
that is one thing that I think this entire panel will say yes. We could equally agree upon,
yeah,
Malia.
it's definitely
Absolutely.
it's no point. Like I addressed it because I said, like, I couldn't believe how many of us black women were actually coming for this woman's husband, like
And telling her to leave.
yeah, I
Her
was
man.
like, that they would say over, like, if you want to leave because
Over that?
he's the catch, you may not want to get married because it's gonna be way more things you probably gonna want to leave for, that you may have a right to leave for, and that may be like, listen, I need to leave for this. But guess what? You can't just leave. So to
No.
leave for something he said, it means you won't have any substance in your relationship or your marriage.
He undermines everything. Like, stop living through your trauma and telling that young girl that crap. And y'all supposed to be mentoring these ladies. Y'all supposed to be writing books. Y'all supposed to be having discussions. Y'all supposed to be doing that. Y'all supposed to be y'all telling these women to leave and create broken homes and create and put us back further. You selfish son of a. Oh my goodness.
You mad? You big mad, Ellen? I see you big mad. Penelope said, "Nah." I think she's talking about. She said 10 million in 2022 is what she made. So Alexander said, "Not if he makes the playoffs." Okay, so Tony said, "I'm a football guy. That guy is not a great player. Simone is a legend and will make money until she dies." That's
Okay. One, he plays. He's a starter. Okay, and he's on a winning team on a defense as a top 15 defense with CJ Stroud. Like, come on, bro. Don't try to undermine him now, bro, because you want to simping for it ain't gonna make you. Black women ain't gonna love you more, dog. They ain't gonna love you more for simping, bro.
No, but Tony, though, honestly, though, when you watched it, if you watch the whole interview, he did say that he was going to work his way up being in that position. And somebody else on the panel was like, I was a safety too, and I worked my way up, and I actually was able to make more money and this and that and that. So I guess it isn't a position where I'm not going to say entry level, but it's a position where you can work your way up in it to, I guess, make more money or do something else greater, because that's what they
But
were actually
everybody's
talking about.
working their way up. They're saying, okay, work your way up as far as salary, meaning that you want to make the most in the league. Okay, there's safeties in the league that make $100 million. Like, what do you like? Okay, yes, it's not no work your way up position. He's saying work his way up through his salary to make more to be competitive in the marketplace. That's all. Because right now he's like a McDonald's player. Okay, you know what I'm saying? They call it that. A $1 to $5 million guy is a McDonald's player. You know what I'm saying? That's what they call that. So you know what I mean? In the big money of sports, of sports. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
Okay. So Ashley said, "Oh boy, only averages about 500 something thousand a year." Okay. Look, we're gonna be going back and forth on this all day. Alan said he's biting the bullet. Okay. Y'all want about the money, because look, they went to Google like, hold on now. She
Oh, no,
making
everybody gonna do that when it's a black woman. With a black man, then nobody would have gave a damn. But with a black woman, yeah, we're gonna always do all the research and make sure everything. Just like when a black man says something that black women don't like, he got to have the credential of God to say that. You know what I'm saying? He got okay, but Steve Harvey can say what he want to say with 3 marriages in because he say what they want to say. So we know how that logic goes.
we want to hear, right?
But good job, panel.
Don't look, y'all. Alan is a little frustrated. Okay, he's losing this battle today. No, I'm playing. Penelope, you said keep you in line because he has options. She's asking, what do you mean by that? Melita said she
that's
just
I said, and exactly how I said it.
Oh my God, what's wrong today, Alan? You on tip? You was ready, wasn't you? You was like, it's a lot.
I knew they were gonna come because I knew they were gonna come for it. Like I knew this was gonna be a real discussion. I want all the smoke.
Okay, so Penelope Googled it. This is my last comment about how much he made, because we're gonna keep going back. But she said he only signed a $1 million contract and $3 million with endorsements. So there it is.
So that's $4 million, and on top of that, he gets a signing bonus per one. I think 500,000. That's why they said per playoff game. I think, and I think it goes up. I think the AFC NFC championship. I think it's 750. Super Bowl is like $1 million bonus. That's on top of that. On top of incentives. On top of if he keeps playing well. So again, I'm not saying he's a great player or all pro. He's not, but he's a starter in the league. There's a reason why he's a starter in the league, and he's not trash. He doesn't get hurt, and he's a viable player at his position. Okay. But to act like they're downplaying him to try to uplift Simone is crazy.
Alexander said, what teams aren't paying safeties? Y'all crazy. So again, a lot of us don't know football. I know I don't. Some guys on here do. I don't really know football, so I'm learning about the football and how much they make. Penelope said, just say you misspoke. We forgive you. Tony said Simone Biles is the number 1 of all time. She has been on the cover of Wheaties. Oh yeah, they showed that she was on the cover of Wheaties. Okay, listen. Let me
what? If she get her back broke by a cat that was making $1 million, who cares? Hey.
So Melita said they are both the prize and people make something out of nothing oftentimes. Right, y'all. That's what we're doing with this small topic. Like, oh no, she's making more. So she's actually the prize because she makes more. The making more doesn't make you the prize. I mean, again.
And every woman on here is showing that. They are showing Lily, that's what that is. And what I've said on multiple times, it's about love is conditional when it comes to women, especially black women.
No, I think what they're just correcting you on the fate where you saying that he's making more, so that makes him the prize. They want you to give them more information on why you feel like he's the prize when he's not making more. So they just prove that he's not making more.
Why he's harder to replace than Simone is.
Harder to replace.
He is harder to replace than Simone is.
Okay, and so they're just disagreeing with that part. So
of course they are, because it's like that's factual though. You can't disagree with a fact. That is factual. It is going to be harder for her to find a black man, a man of that stature that's on her level or over her level, or like y'all believe, I guess under her level now because she made $10 million. So okay, to me, I guess millionaires ain't under nobody's level. So that nigga, did it say $3 million or did it not say $3 million in $1 million signing contract? Say you don't know salary cap without saying you don't know salary cap. That's $4 million, by the way, that he gets. Okay, and then on top of that, he gets incentive bonuses off of what he does on the field. So it's 10 tackles, you get $50,000. You get 2 interceptions in the game. You get that's huge. And as a safety, you would get maybe like 100,000 or 200,000 per interception. It's like stuff like that. There's a lot of incentive bonuses. Yes, and for high performance, yes.
Right.
So there's a lot in contract. So he can very potentially make $10 million in a year if he balled out. You know what I mean? He would have to have like an all pro season from his current salary. So again, so I'm saying this. He can find a Simone Biles, a black woman that's educated, that's athletic, that's nice, that is finer and younger than Simone Biles. He can do that. And being in his position that he is in, he can very much do that. And she doesn't have to necessarily be famous. So the same things that make Simone Biles doesn't matter in the choosing aspect of what a man chooses somebody or what he chooses. Her being a number one gymnastics is a bonus. It isn't a part of why he married her. See, that's the thing about it. So that's going to be the case when it comes to a man with a female. It is going to be part of his stature, part of what he can do, part of how he lead, part of his name, his namesake out here. It's part of the attraction to him. Then his personality brings you to the love. Real women, not the gold digging women. The real women, his personality and spending time with you gets you towards the love part. But him being that successful is a part of what made you love that dude. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Let's be honest here. Like that's part of the attraction.
You had to. Okay, that's probably what you probably had to break down because I understand what you're saying. If a woman was to leave, right, a man's not looking like, oh, she's a gymnast. She's making this month 10 million. Oh yeah, I want her. But a woman, on the other hand, is looking at a man like, oh, he's a football player. He's in shape. He this. Oh yeah, that's what So that's what you're saying, Alan. So I get what you're saying. Now to your point, it may have came off as you were saying like, okay, well he got the money, he the prize, but that's not what you're saying. You're saying that if he was to leave, he could easily get another woman because women love athletic men. They love men in sports.
And let me tell you, he can get multiple women at the same time. Okay, so he really slowing his life down being monogamous. Another reason he the prize. He voluntarily, in the heart of his career, is willing to just mess with Simone Biles. That he the prize off that.
I would give that to him. I actually wholeheartedly applaud this young man at 28.
Volunteer to get married.
One woman, because these men, it's men that's in their 40s don't want to settle down with one woman. And so I actually applaud him.
Want to settle down with one woman.
Like honestly, because men don't want to settle down. And they, you know what I'm saying? So I applaud him for being that young and having wisdom to know that you only need one woman. You don't need a million women to be happy. That's just more problems, right? So I'm going to move on.
You got it. You got it. I'll take that million. I'll take that million back. Like, I'll take that. And then once I'm done with the million, and then I'll take the monogamy after that. I'll take it after that. Then it's like, I did that million. I did every race. I did every continent. You know what? Then I'll be like, I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
But no, Melita said that's absurd. A covenant was made with God. Be careful who you marry, people. A covenant was made. Exactly. But again, I don't think this young man did anything wrong. Alexander said they should be showing us how to have a healthy black relationship. Exactly.
And they are. That's why they came back out and said, we good around here. They show you
he did. He took up for his wife and said, listen, we good over here. And so that's good. Merely said maybe tongue in cheek. I guess he was trying. That means like, what that mean again, Merely? Trying to say something in a funny way, I think. Maybe he was being tongue in cheek. It's like an analogy or something.
Man, he was being whatever the hell he needed to be. Man. He said what he said, and he was right.
In a funny way, but he didn't mean it in a derogatory way. Penelope said he called that man a whole simp because he don't agree with him. Wow. Who? Alan called him a whole simp. Hold on, who? I don't know who you call a simp. Oh, you call Tony.
Man,
He's not trying to. It's okay. No,
okay, what we're not gonna do is see. This is what another thing. What we're not gonna do is do all this. Ain't a crybaby podcast. So if you want some crybaby, he said this about, so he can say the same thing about me, and I can laugh and daff it up with that man
right.
later.
So,
Okay, so
so
that's what we not gonna do. Stop being a female and let the podcast be the podcast.
well, that was a female that said it. No, no, but no, Tony. Tony. So, excuse me. He's not. Okay, so sometimes Alan, he's expressing himself, it comes off strongly, right? But he doesn't mean it like personally. Don't take anything personally, y'all. And he even admitted that maybe, okay, maybe she is, um, making more. Maybe she is making more than him. Okay, from what he looked at, and he's looking at incentives, he's looking at other things, right? So
I know
maybe
about
he
contract.
is
So
making
maybe
right.
I'm speaking on what he could make, but that's fair. You don't gamble off of what you could make. You gamble off what you got. So I appreciate the audience holding cats accountable. That's cool. I just want the same energy, bro. I just want the same energy.
Oh God,
Because to have your fun now, because there's gonna be some stuff, and I'm gonna love getting. I don't forget nothing. So have your fun now.
okay, so more positive. Merely said they both good. This doesn't even matter. I agree.
It don't. It
One,
really don't. Honestly.
Melita said one should not be purposely uplifted more than the other, and that's what I said. We gotta treat each other as one. So how I feel, and my answer is, I believe that both are the prize. I don't believe that either one should be held up like, oh my God. I think they both have their own functions. They're both
Mm-hmm.
designed to do things that they operate as one. And you cannot be one and say one is the prize and the other isn't the prize. There's no way that can happen, because when you
Mm-hmm.
get married, you become one flesh. And because you are one flesh now,
Ooh,
both
now
of
you
you
talking.
are the prize.
Now
So
that's
this is
correct in both sides right there. Okay, nobody disagree with that.
exactly, and that's why I want everybody to understand, like, when you get married, the husband is the head, of course. He's, the
Period.
savior of the body, right? It means deliverer, preserver. And the wife is the helpmate up to the husband, right? And they become one. So nobody wins to say, hey, I'm the prize in this, or I'm better than you, I'm better than this person. Nobody wins to say that, because biblically
Absolutely.
speaking, we are both in this together. We're one flesh. So if he is the prize, okay, that means I'm the prize too, because hey, that's my husband and we're one.
But that kills that entire argument. And you know what? I'm okay with that verdict.
Yeah.
Because
And,
you're
and
right. Because me, and I'm you. How the heck I'm rocking with you, and we one soul, one body, and I'm the prize, and you ain't.
exactly. And that's why we got to understand. That's why we have to take the principles of the word instead of the principles of the world. Because the principles of the world is going to have this argument, oh, you're not anything. I'm more than her. Well, I'm making this much money. Well, you're
I'm
not
more
doing
important
this.
than you.
And it should not, just like the body, we have a body of Christ. Every function is important. We even talked about
Mm-hmm.
the wife being the neck, the husband being the head. The neck
Mm-hmm.
can't move with the head can't move without the neck. So it
Period.
goes both ways. You can't have one without the other. So
Other, you can't. You literally cannot.
yeah, we have to really understand that um we could honestly say, okay, well, you know what, Simone's the prize, because we could say he who finds a wife finds a good thing and finds and obtains favor from God, which favor means you get a good thing. God blesses you, God sees you. So we could indicate and say, you know what, the wife is actually the prize, because God said when you find her, you actually get favor, and this is favor that you do not have when you are a single man. If you're not married, you do not have this favor, right? We could say that, but this is not what the Bible is saying. It's just saying that you obtain something when you get a good wife. You get a woman who's going to help you in your endeavors, who's strong.
And why? Yes, good
That's
counsel.
what
She's
you're getting.
prayer. She's doing
Yes. So,
good.
you know what I'm saying? So again, it's not that to say that she's the prize because you're going to get favor when you get her. It's to say that your life is as a man is going to be better because you have her. And now both of you
Thank
guys
you.
have become one flesh, and both of you guys become the prize.
And
So
guess what? This is why this woman done got 2 rings right now. See that? You see the logic she has? See how cooperative that is? See how that is actually helpful to bringing the black man and the black woman's understanding together. Y'all see that? Y'all need to take notes. Go ahead, Queen.
Alan, stop listening. You look, I think the guests are maybe a little heated at you for this. But Penelope said, we are correcting your untruths. You stated so many times that he makes more than her as a way to prove your point, and you are wrong, and 10 million is more than 4, no matter what type of math you do. Okay. And I understand. You don't have to respond, Ellen. I know you already said
She's
so
just combative.
yeah, that was
She's just combative. It
that
makes
was
sense.
just
I
an
bet
old
she's not
comment.
married. I bet she's not married.
Ellen, listen.
Go ahead.
But okay, so you've already Alan did already say that, listen, he was probably wrong on the figures, right? So we're not gonna look at that point. And also he did say, Tony, he didn't mean anything about it. He was just, talking. Like, I thought that's a man talk anyway. I don't know. But Rita
I say
said,
that to my homies all the time. We say it back and forth. It be all good, bro. But like I said, women gotta always make things worse. That's why cats die in the hood, because somebody lied on some dude or made up some story about some dude letting it. Like, somebody, you argue on the block with a dude, just leave it there. You don't. You gotta go tell your cousins, and now they at each other, and now cats dying because you weaponizing black men. It's that energy that she got. So that's why I said what I said. Those type of women are a danger to the community. And it's not about her correcting me. I don't mind that. I've always said I could be right and wrong. I'm not trying to be right all the time. But her constantly having to do it over and over and over. That's the crap I'm talking about.
I don't. Okay, Ellen, calm down, Ellen. Listen. Rita said, why do we always assume that it is monetary? Maybe he takes care of things at home better than her. Okay, so Rita's saying he could be the prize because he's taking care of things better at home than her. I mean, hey, that's a different scenario to look at it. Tony says only one Simone bows. Merely is laughing at Tony. No. Melita says we can't tweak facts to prove a point. It's possible for her to be a prize on paper and he still be the prize. His character makes him a prize or not. That's right. That's facts for real. Like, we got to stop looking at
Man, ain't nothing
prize
like
as monetary.
I love a woman that actually wants to add to the conversation positively. Thank you for having a brain. I appreciate you that so much. Appreciate that.
Oh, so silly. You said not Simone. Well, I don't know who Rita's talking about. She said not Simone. Penelope, she said she went on a dating website and met him. She didn't go to a football mixer. She wanted a relationship. It didn't matter about his financial status because she already has that. And I'm sure she probably wasn't looking at his financial status.
Come on now. So we're gonna act like she didn't try to date somebody that has the potential, one that makes millions of dollars, has in his contract that he makes millions of dollars. That you don't think that added to the fact that it added to her attraction to him. It doesn't mean that he has to have money or to take care of her. But women want to date of the same par or higher.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so regardless of her making more millions, he's still in her tax bracket because he makes millions. So in point blank period, or how y'all want to slice it. Okay, so the fact that he does, that's part of the attraction to him. She wasn't gonna get with some cat that worked at McDonald's. She wasn't gonna get a cat that worked a 9 to 5. Simone Biles wasn't gonna get that. That's moving. That's down. A man will do that because he'll go off a woman being combative. I mean, non-combative. Listens, probably has a gentle spirit. He'll deal with that more than a financial. Okay, but see, on the other end, a woman's not going to deal with that. That's more of a Simone Biles caliber. So again, he's still in her tax bracket, even though she makes more. That's why, so it's outlandish that people try to make it seem like him making millions didn't matter. Like, y'all crazy. Like, y'all won't even date the nigga that work at Burger King. Okay, you make $60,000 a year, and you won't even date a $30,000 a year man, and you out here talking like Simone gonna date a cat making $70,000. Man, come on, man, stop the cat, man.
So the I think what it was when I heard website too, I was like, oh dang, she went on a dating site, but I think it was probably a site for people of that caliber who makes a certain amount of money, who's in their circle. It has the status.
Name the site. You know that she didn't name the site because you're damn right. I bet it's a millionaire site. I bet it's a millionaire site.
I don't think it was like a random dating site where you find somebody, because she knew that this site, most of the men were wealthy, whether they or had money, whether they had as much as her. I don't think she probably cared if it was more or less because she knew that they had enough money,
Enough.
Alexander.
He had enough.
Oh,
Okay.
merely said, okay, so merely said, no, men don't care about a woman's money. That's correct. She seemed very like a pleasant young lady. Yeah, y'all said
Absolutely.
that. Alexander said definitely. Melita said that makes sense, Alan. Tony said facts. Um, Rita said men do care. I have a cousin whose ex-husband is trying to get every penny he can from her because his income is not on
Yeah,
paper.
because guess what? He learned from a single mom. I bet he was raised by a single mom. I bet he was. He like my mama took care of me, so guess what? Now my ex-wife gonna take care of me too.
That's
You love
terrible.
your Ray Rays and Pookies, live with it.
Men are always the prize, but you can't disrespect Simone. That was my point. That's what Tony said. Men are always the prize. And like I said, if you
Okay,
become
Tony, bro, you got that, Tony, bro. I came in guns blazing, bro. My bad, Tony, bro. We can get a drink, bro.
see, there we go. It's all love. See? It's all love on here, y'all. We not against each other. We might be saying different
Not at
things in
all.
different ways, but it's all the same thing, y'all, that we all trying to say. Um, but yeah, Tony said men are always the prize, but you can't disrespect someone. But I think Tony, I don't think we should say men. I believe it's a prize. You should always think, yeah, my husband is a prize, but I don't think it should be where we're like this conversation here. You know what I'm saying? Again, you are one flesh. How can you be something without that other person? You can't, because when you become one, you are the same. So we need to get in the mindset that my wife is a prize, I'm a prize, we both a prize because we in this together. And that's biblically speaking, we should not try to
And I'm
separate.
okay with that. Because
Yeah,
regardless of how I feel, because I still feel what that man says, I'd rather us get to that, what you said, versus me being right saying I'm the prize. I would rather us get to there. So
yeah,
I'm cool with that being the end all be all solution to the problem.
yeah.
We
Let's
both
not,
the
because
prize.
you put one above here, now somebody feeling a certain way, and oh no, but no, we both have different functions, and our different functions make us different. But it's all to be a team, to come together to be as one. It's not to make anybody feel less or anybody feel more. No, that's not the case. I think we're both. I know from the word, we're both one. We're one flesh, so we are both the prize, and we are in this together. Um, Ashley said, "Y'all ain't sugar honey iced tea." Tony said he called me I didn't say anything, dude. I'm living my best single life. Okay, so
Like
he's
doing your thing, huh, bro? Yeah, absolutely. You got the multiple, ain't you, brother? You got the multiple, Tony.
Lord. He said, as she said, I think the media was trying to attack how she looks in comparison to him by saying that he's the prize, trying to put a divide in their household as well as make her insecure. Right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
And I love her reply. Like, y'all want me to be insecure so bad. Remember she said that?
yeah,
And she was like, we good over here.
good
We
over here.
good over here. I was like, some
You got to have that attitude even in everyday life, because some people, they may try to put you against your husband or wife, because you know what I'm saying, they may see something, or you might be you too good for him, or she's too good for you, and you got to be able to shut that down, because you don't want to let anything creep into your marriage. That small thing can create something big.
Oh,
And
yes,
so
it can.
how you look at it,
Because
like, I could
oh,
do
what is
better.
worse saying that? What is a worse thing to tell a black woman that works as hard as Simone Biles that her accomplishments don't mean anything? That is the worst part of a thing you can say.
Yeah,
So that's why this is a vitriol level of evilness. That's why we attacking it like this. This is why it's a topic, because it's like y'all really trying to destroy y'all, because this can be a little pumpkin seed that can grow into a tree that can be a problem that was
yeah,
never would have been an issue if everybody else didn't try to make it an issue.
right.
That's the danger of it.
It's very dangerous. A little leaven leavens the whole lump. That's a scripture. Like, you don't want any
Yeah.
of it in there, because it's gonna make one bad apple will ruin everything and everybody. And that's why
Yes,
that
it can.
bad apple, you got to get rid of that bad apple. So
Yes,
I'm
it
glad
can.
she was secure in herself, that she didn't allow what was being said to make her feel any type of way, to just walk away, because I know it's easy for them to do it, especially when they in that status. And don't give away your good thing for somebody else who's miserable and doesn't have one. And then guess what? You know what I'm saying? They gonna still have their good thing. I remember my dad all the time told me a story of his he had I guess his mom had some friends or so who one both was married, and one had like a husband who wasn't as good to her or whatever, and she would always be like, you know what, I wouldn't take that if I was you. I wouldn't be with him. I would leave him, and and finally the woman left him and came back to her
Yep.
like, oh, I left him, girl. Yep, just like you said. And she was like, you gonna leave your husband? She was like, nope, I ain't a fool like you. I'm staying with mine. So you gotta
Yep.
people do
Yep.
this to you because again they may see something or be jealous of something, and because
And
they
you
don't
thought that she was a married friend. What
yeah,
would she gain from that? It ain't about what
tell
she
you to do
gained from that.
something they
She
won't
did
do.
it.
Yeah, they'll tell you something that they won't even do, and you'll be the one stuck like, oh, wow, so you always gotta look at the bigger picture. The bigger picture is it was so much bigger than just say, oh, leave him, he did so much wrong. He didn't really do anything. It wasn't that big. Alexander said one band, one sound. Exactly. Tony said one thing a wise man told me is to watch your delivery when talking to people, especially women. I think you should.
Man, F that. We don't watch they ain't watched their delivery for 30, 40 years. So we ain't black men. We ain't taking care about kids because Ray Ray and Pookie don't take care of theirs. We didn't have to deal with magazine covers or what do you gotta do to keep the black men in the house. We gotta deal with the 70s and the 80s through that era of the independent feminist movement, dealing with them telling us what we should do, what we supposed to like, where we supposed to go, how we supposed to take this. No, dog. The day of saying what they want to hear and them hearing what they want to hear is over with, dog. We're gonna say it, we're gonna heal, but we're gonna say it now.
So I think he may be saying when you're talking to your woman directly, you should have a certain
I get it.
delivery with her. You shouldn't, you should have a certain tone with her because the Bible says to treat your wife as a weaker vessel, meaning you don't treat her the same way you would treat your boys or yourself. You
You're right.
talk
She
to
gonna be
her
a strong vessel with me.
you talk to her more pleasant way than that. And honestly, the Bible says if you are harsh to your wife, then your prayers will not be answered. So when you go to God to ask God for something, He will prevent your prayers. So you got to be
That's
careful.
checkmate. That's checkmate. All
Right.
right, I'm just
Listen, there's so many things
I'm
in
gonna
your
listen to it.
man. I'm telling you, like you will hinder your own blessings by treating your wife in a harsh way. So I think
That
in
was, that
this
was good delivery.
instant, he was not talking to Simone. Simone was on the side, but he actually his delivery wasn't to his wife. He was talking to the fellas in this case because he was on a podcast. She just was off to the side. So it wasn't like he was saying this to me, you know. So Rita said, I answered this already, Rita. She said, why is men the prize when they say he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtain? Yeah, and that's what I talked about. The reason why that's why it's neither one are the just sole prize on their own, but they are one flesh, so they are both the prize. So whatever the husband is, if he is the prize, okay, the husband's the prize. Now that makes the wife the prize too, because we're one flesh. So you can't get
That's why.
around
If a
it.
good man and a good woman is hard to find, then how are we both not the prize when we found each other?
They're both the prize. They're both the
Thank
prize,
you.
so I don't want to, and of course, the thing is, the Bible says again, who can find a virtuous woman? Because meaning it's hard to find one, right? When you find one,
It
like
is. Yes, it
her
is.
price is above rubies. It's worth more than money. So again, we could easily say, yeah, again, the woman is the prize, the woman is the prize, right? But the Bible also says that the husband is called to cover the wife, right? The husband is
Yes, he
called
is.
to sacrifice as Christ sacrificed. And what did Christ do? He laid his life down. So you can't take that away from a man and say the man isn't a prize either if he has to lay his whole life down for his
My
family.
entire
So,
life, where I don't never come back, and most likely a nigga dude gonna die, and you gonna smash another dude anyway. So on top of that, nigga gotta die knowing most likely you gonna get some other dick. Like we gotta know that, and we have to volunteer for that, okay? And so you ain't gonna run on the prize. Okay? We the
and so
prize though. We right. We
what
passed
I'm
that.
saying. Both people
We passed
are
that.
surprised because both areas, you can see where it's like, okay, well, dang, so it's not that one person is better than another. We're all as one body. We're one flesh. We're as one. We're one. So if you the prize, I'm the prize too. Ain't no way around it.
Yep.
Merely said men who actually find wives find a good thing, but you have to understand that what finding a good wife means. What most men married have not found a wife; they just married a woman. Right. So that's what
But
it says. Who can find a virtuous wife, right? Those
and
who
you see how
find
people keep.
a virtuous wife. But
Yes, but I'm gonna add that real quick before you get to your point, please.
mm,
You see how they keep though implying they keep saying men who finds a wife. Do you hear that little combativeness there? Like it's not. I'm not saying the lady just now. I'm just saying you see multiple women have done this, but the Bible, the word saying a man who finds a wife. They're slightly saying in their voice that wait, that God even said we the prize. That's what you're saying. Like I don't hear that. Like and we gotta act like we don't hear that. You see what I'm saying? You see how we have to act like that, and we have to go past that and not and let that slide and do things like that. But that's still rooted in combativeness, though. Like it just, I don't know. Maybe I'm
I
just
knew that was gonna
overdoing
be
it.
one. I knew that was gonna be a thing that we would go to. I mean, and it's normal when you're looking at this topic and you're trying to figure out well, why he calling himself the prize, and especially if you're gonna look at it biblically, that's one of the scriptures you would go to. So I'm taking it as we're just going to the scripture because and that is one of the main scriptures you hear, and merely
Yeah,
is
because it's
saying that
convenient.
some men are married, but they have not found a wife; they're just married a woman. So, and there is a difference between the two, but that's why the
Very
Bible
much
says
so.
he who finds a wife, because when you're a wife, there's certain things you're just gonna have about yourself, and the Bible
And
describes
how
what
you just gonna do. And there's
to
certain
look
stuff
for
you
in
just
that
gonna
woman.
do and what you're not gonna do. There's certain ways you ain't gonna embarrass your husband no matter what. He could embarrass you publicly, and there's certain ways you ain't gonna move to the point to where even men gonna be like, you know what? I want her. He ain't treating her right. See, women don't even understand. You acting like a wife and a upstanding, classy woman benefits you when you don't see it. Even when it's not a direct line of something you think is going to harvest. You always carry yourself a certain way with a bigot, even with somebody who's dumb and somebody you end up leaving. You don't even know your next person could be that person that sees that man. She could have went off. She could have told him what it was. She could have all types of things. But man, she always carry herself some type of way. I'm not saying be a punching bag. I'm not saying that by no means. But there's benefits to always having a clear, huxtable way of going about some stuff. And I'm just saying, it just is. And that hasn't changed no matter what people want to do.
Right. Tony said, "I love my ladies. All love my black queens." Okay, we love you back. Melita said, "Right, like Tyrese's ex-wife regrets leaving him, listening to her circle." Absolutely, I'm telling you, she regretted. Now she got on that podcast and said that she had the right people in her
And didn't want
corner.
to hold herself accountable. Oh, I didn't have the right people. No, you were just stupid. You were just
Yeah,
ignorant.
she listened to the noise, and that's what it was. Instead of
And she was
going like,
weak
"Yeah, we're
minded
good."
as well.
And she thought probably she could find someone better. Like, hey, I could do better.
Like,
So
come on now. Like, you are you. That is Tyrese. Like, why did you even think
and
that?
as she said, she said, and he moved on so quick. He ain't thinking about her. Only the fact that
Not at all. And he got a lighter, younger, and less bodies.
Tony said, no. Look at some of the ladies in the comments are offended at his deliveries. He said, no. Look at some of the ladies in the comments are offended at his delivery towards them. Okay, so he said some of the ladies are offended by your delivery, Alan.
I'm not surprised.
Alan, you were a little harsh this today. What happened? Why you being mean?
I'm not being mean. I'm just this is a real
The
discussion. We
topic
gonna
just
have it.
you
We
like
gonna have it. We are going to have, and this is an open space. And as a black man, I get judged and I go say something harsh to the daggone boardroom. I say something harsh out here to the kids. Say something no. And this platform here, we're gonna have an open space for both sides to express themselves. I ain't calling people out their name. I ain't doing none of that. So stop saying I'm harsh because you can't handle the truth. Okay, now some actions, the ones y'all couldn't do, y'all went and to prove that. That's fine. But at the end of the day, there was a lot of truth that I proved today. That was factual information. And just because I didn't say it in the lily lamb that you wanted me to, don't change the fact that if it is any less than the daggone truth.
so. Ashley said Penelope logged off and he insulted my intelligence when using Google. I ain't mad. I don't let nobody upset me. Oh, Penelope. Oh, I hope she didn't get offended. Okay, so I'm gonna have to tell her we're not trying to offend anybody, right? Sometimes Alan may say things in a different way that he's just again more opinionated, and it may come off as he's trying to be abrasive. He's not. He's more of it's just strongly opinionated, right?
But it's crazy how if you talk to if you had a abrasive way of delivery, there will be no complaints on how you deliver anything. But see, but I, even in the platforms that are supposed to be safe, I still have to censor myself in the platform. Do you know how annoying that is as a black man? Like, you know how always being chastised on saying stuff like harsh and all those things. Like, it just and I'm not gonna play the victim. It is what it is. If you're gonna talk to me, you talk. You gotta stand on it. But it was like I very much seen that. It was like because she just kept like it was like the fifth time. It was like okay, we already have expressed that she didn't want to move on. She wanted to keep me there. She wanted to keep the podcast there. Like, nah, bruh. And no, it wasn't hold me accountable. It was held accountable the first time, not the last 6 times.
Well, that's what
Now
I
if you're trying
said.
to humiliate and embarrass somebody, and in that spirit, I said what I said. That is exactly why that type of spirit is why black men are getting killed. Black men get killed. It's just that serious, and it's that simple. She want to log off because that was the truth. How many people fighting over what a female said, or what a female did, or a sister that did what, or my cousin because somebody did this, or she felt disrespected because somebody in the street said something, and she just said that she wanted to. Oh, okay, you know what? Now I want to make them. He said that he called me a B word. I'm gonna make my people do something to him. So I'm gonna make sure I tell a story that make them kill this nigga, like over a just a heated conversation, and weaponizing black men is a real thing, and a lot of good black women have done that, and Penelope was doing that. Like it was that simple.
So I think that's what it is when it comes to weaponizing the black man, or like those type of topics. It gets you kind of going because you have experienced this, and this is something
Very much
that's
so.
always
Not
talked
dead
about.
homies off of weaponizing black men. Dead niggas.
Yeah, so it's
Sorry.
something that touches him in a different type of way because it's like he's seen this, and so it's not that he's trying to be harsh to anybody on the podcast. We are just having a discussion and topic. He's not trying to be disrespectful in any type of way, y'all. So I'm gonna talk to Penelope. I don't want her to feel any type of way. I know Ashley said, she said she no, she said she said she wanted him to apologize and say that he was wrong. Wow. Okay. Oh
See,
wow.
I see even here, even in this platform, I gotta apologize. Just like the white man want me to apologize every time I say something. So now even here, I gotta beg for your forgiveness. I gotta beg for you to understand what I'm saying, man.
Alexander said it's a debate of opinions. Yeah, and that's all it is. We're putting out opinions here from different walks of life. Everybody has had different experiences. Everybody has had, everything has been different. So some people may project the way they feel differently than what somebody else. And I'm sure if I think he was probably on it, she would probably sound a little different. We may say that she was coming off, because sometimes when you're passionate about these topics, and that's what I don't want to do, we don't want to make it where it's like, oh, we're enemies. We're not. We are here to discuss a topic and to come up with a solution, which the solution in this case is to not think of yourself more highly than you ought to in that scripture, for one thing, right? So if you don't think of yourself more highly than you ought to, you're going to be humble, and you won't even be telling yourself you're the prize and you're the catch, because guess what? You know that we're one flesh. This is my wife, this is my husband, and we are one. So if I am a prize, she is a prize as well. So that is the solution to thinking this. Don't let society geek you up and make you think, that you're better, or there's somebody else better for you. And then you lose your good thing because you listen to society. And that's all we're trying to portray here.
And
Sometimes
don't and last yeah, I just want to
okay,
add a
Alex,
little
go
bit to that. Don't cancel somebody because you disagree with them. Like, my goodness, like
ahead.
that is like my thing is, you see how the podcast legitimately came full circle to something we should have all came to, and how we got to that point, right? She left before it could even get to that point. See, that's another thing. So now you leave the podcast, and my thing is, if you want to go, honestly, that is a go thing, because that in the community is not going to improve the community. That in the community is not going to get us anywhere to where we're trying to move into mutual ground. You know what I mean? You go off on the podcast because I said something you didn't like, and then you leave it like that. You don't say, you know what? I'm gonna go full circle with this with my black man, and I'm gonna see what's up, and we're gonna have this hard discussion. I'm not gonna run from it. I'm not gonna just be able to say I'm gonna hide my shell and just go. I'm gonna go ahead and see where this fully goes.
Yeah.
And that's communication. And that's what these females don't have. And that's why a lot of times you see that. So now you leave the conversation because it's not saying something you don't like. So you're going to go to a platform that says something that you do like. That's not improvement. And that's not trying to improve. That's trying to go to places and out and platforms that's going to keep you in the same stuck scenario that you are.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I wish she would have stayed to the end because she would have saw that, there was a solution to the madness that we're talking about today. And it's, I understand sometimes, people feel like the way you talk to them, I talk in a certain way, but like if I get real passionate about something, y'all may be thinking I'm going off and I'm going in, and I'm really not trying to. Like even on my Facebook, when y'all know I love the Lord, so when y'all be coming for me, I'm coming right back, and I'm not being
Mhm.
harsh or trying to be rude, but it's like when you're passionate about
Prime example. And I don't want to cut you off, but I want to say this: Were you not? Could it not be seen as harsh as you were on the daggone William Murphy scenario with Pastor them daggone leaning with it, and rocking with it, and walking out in church? Couldn't that have been seen as harsh to people who they were just having fun? They didn't say any of the cuss words. It was just the chorus. What did you say? You were not apologetic about how you
right.
separate the world from what Christ is. You separate the world from what you know what I'm saying? But that could have been seen as harsh. You see
Oh
what I'm
well,
saying?
that was seen as that is seen as harsh. That oh,
Exactly.
that is harsh, and people do not like it. And they listen. You can unfriend me,
But
and
were you called harsh? Were you called harsh for that?
in so many words, different people, yeah, especially when my other a couple other posts I put up there, a couple other people,
Mm-hmm.
because people, when you tell the truth about things, sometimes people just think you're harsh, and you're not harsh, you're telling the
There it
truth.
is. There it
This
is.
society doesn't like truth is everybody wants to hear a lie, make me feel good, make
Thank you.
say something to tickle my ears. And when you say things like that, they're all for you. You're gonna have a following out out this
Mm-hmm.
world. But when you tell the
Yep.
truth, people are like,
Red
"You're
pill and feminism work just fine. You red pill, you talk about how much women suck, you gonna have biggest as follow. You on the side talk about how men ain't nothing and how 304s is life and how being a whore is okay and how being everything is about sexuality, you gonna get a whole lot of platform. It's like as long as you add to the divide, you got a big platform.
yeah." And I understand, like, some men are built differently from women. Sometimes when they are, I guess, passionate about issues, they kind of look at what's his name, Charles, the guy we always
Charleston White. Mm-hmm.
Charleston White.
Yeah,
Look
it's
how he
hilarious when he do it. It's
he
all good when he do it. I'm boisterous and harsh, but he's hilarious.
But a lot of people don't like him either, because of that. Tony said Cat Williams be going in. Yeah, so a lot of men aren't like,
Absolutely.
and I'm not saying you can, because like even with Kevin Samuels, I think he was balanced with it. Like he would say
Mm-hmm.
things right, but when they start just going crazy, then he'd play crazy with him. Like, well, you the one said it. I'm just, so I could understand
Mm-hmm.
where he would go with it. You know, and again, everybody can grow, everybody can learn. No, nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. It's about, can you correct it? Can you apologize? Can you accept it and say, I made that mistake? Okay, I'm gonna fix it. That's all it's about.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to tell her, Alexander said tell her come back. I did. Tony, you said me having a daughter has taught me how to be more sensitive to women and their feelings. Yeah, it will teach you, especially if you got a daughter.
I'm a
It's
stepdad to two daughters. Okay, I'm sensitive.
yeah.
I'm sensitive to girls, as in toddlers, not grown women.
Grown women don't get a pass day. That's
No.
bogus. You like, you should have known better. I don't care. Ashley said that was sweet. My dad didn't do that with his daughters. Oh, yeah. And some men, they just don't have it in them. They just still are their raw self, regardless if it's a girl or boy. Alexander said, or the Tyler Perry and the TD Jakes. Oh yeah, yeah. I spoke on that too and posted
Oh
things.
yeah, oh TD Jakes, yeah, you was very unapologetic about your stance on that. Exactly. See
I will
again,
not apologize.
no, exactly unapologetic. TD Jakes, and you were right because TD ain't did none of that, and you see ain't not an ounce, a sliver of evidence to come out on nothing. Because see that's been an upstanding man since West Virginia days, and they ain't gonna find nothing. So again, but it's funny they did what they needed to do. I bet he's still the pastor on stuff. Like no matter that is because he a
Oh,
black
it's coming
man. No
out though.
matter that is
That's
true or not,
already
they
coming out.
already doing it. Yeah.
He's about to listen. All the stuff is coming out already, but I've never listened to TD Jakes because I have a discerning spirit, and when I listen to people, I can discern whether they're if they're preaching the truth or is it just empty.
Mm-hmm.
It's not sound
Mm-hmm.
doctrine. Sound means no mixture, meaning you don't mix truth and lies. And some preachers do that. That means that you don't have a sound doctrine or teaching when you do that. And so when I listen to people, I'm always careful to know and listen. Are they really saying the word? If you're not preaching the whole word, I'm not listening to you anymore. So I'm very particular, but I don't say things to people because people get mad at you. Like you said, they'll be like, "Oh, really?" They just get mad at you, and that's their God,
Oh,
not knowing
yeah,
that you serve these people. This is your God.
they idolize the
They
pastor.
idolize
You got,
your
you
idol.
got,
You're
you got to
not
get the point.
supposed to do that. Nobody should be an idol like that. God is the
Mm-hmm.
only one that you should put on that pedestal. But people, if you talk about it, they're upset at you. And like I said, listen, I will not apologize to one person. I don't care because if it's the word that comes, if this is the word and this is my God I believe in, you might believe in another God. And hey, that's for your God. But
He
for the
said,
God
but
I
if
serve,
you say you over here, this ain't gonna fly. Yeah,
it
you
ain't
was
gonna fly, and
already.
I'm not gonna apologize. If God, if again, when God tells me to do something, then I'll do that. But no man can make me do anything and tell me to do something, and I'm gonna listen to it. Of course, my husband, of course, if he say this to that, whatever. But ain't nobody
Yeah,
gonna
you
make
definitely gotta listen to
me do anything.
that.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. Ashley said, churches are trying to get members by trying to lure in younger people. How would they do this? By trying to relate to them musically. I don't agree with it. Show them the new younger gospel artists so that it can grow on them, not the other way around. Exactly.
And very much so. I want to add on that for I know you got it,
Okay. Go ahead.
but yes, I very much so. When I was growing up, people it forced also the Christian artists to be so good that it broke the barrier. Like T Bone was that for me. T Bone was a gospel rapper. Is a gospel rapper, one of the greatest. To me, he's the greatest gospel rapper of all time. A lot of people say Lecrae. You know what I'm saying? But I believe that T Bone is the greatest gospel rapper of all time. So, but I listen to gospel rap, but it was Little Rascal, Gospel Gangsters, Cross Movement. An amateur when it comes to this. Okay, you know what I mean? So they were so superiorly talented that they made me have to listen to them. And that's what she's speaking on. It's okay, now we have to meet them in the middle. Well, no, you just have to be a good enough person like Lecrae was to be good enough lyrically, good enough, talent wise to cross that barrier. That's what it is. Okay, and that's the key. So, and people are like, well, just meet them in the middle. Like, and you're saying no, and that's all I want to say.
No, you don't. You contaminate things when you try to compromise the word and meet somebody in the middle. The word is
Yes.
all people needs to draw. God don't need help. Oh, let's now play the club music in the church. That way the younger
Mm-hmm.
people know. First of all, you didn't raise the younger people up in church. You didn't teach them the way. And that's why they ain't there in the first place. Second of all, you probably ain't going yourself. So no, they ain't coming to church because they have no example. So you can't expect the church to do all of this and you do nothing as the parent. Come on now. We got to hold ourselves responsible and accountable for the stuff we're not doing. Nowhere in the Bible had that God don't need your silly tactics to come and be like, you know what? We're gonna walk it out, and that's gonna bring everybody. So come here New Year's Eve because we having a walk it out party. That's foolishness. And that's not biblical at all. He has a big enough following that he doesn't even need to do that. His following
Mm-hmm.
is so big, if he just preached the word, he's automatically going to get more people. He does not need to do anything else. Like
Absolutely.
he's just doing things now because people have fallen by the wayside, and the Bible predicts in the last days false prophets will come, and they are coming,
Mm-hmm.
and they're deceiving not only the world but the church. And it seems like the world don't even be deceived. The world be looking at it like, I'm not coming to church. Look at this foolishness. But the church deceived like, oh no, it's nothing wrong. Are you serious? What eyes are you using? Like, come on.
Exactly. And ignoring it doesn't change the fact that it's a problem. Okay, and it's a constant problem that you should be praying on and putting your best foot forward to try to help conquer. That's what you don't you make church different than the world. Absolutely, and that's you don't meet, like you said, you don't meet people in the middle. You get them towards where they need to get to the finish line.
Exactly.
That is the duty. If you're
Yeah.
not trying to do that, then you're not doing that. And like I said, to me, I don't want this just to be I would say just a same type of podcast, because I want to have the freedom to talk about religion, to talk about business, talk about
Oh no,
relationship,
I'm
talk
here. You
about
do.
race.
Yes, you do.
I just want to make sure that's the, because I try to censor myself the best I can, but I'm still trying to be me. That's part of
Oh,
what
you
makes
absolutely,
this
you
work.
have the freedom because I would never take that from somebody. You have the freedom to be whoever you are. Like, this is stuff I say on my personal page because it's my page and what you know what I'm saying. But you definitely have the freedom to say this podcast is a raw podcast that we talk about different issues. In the end, it's God, right? In the end,
Absolutely.
because the book gives you every ingredient, every recipe, how to solve every problem. And so that's why we always go to it to come up with our solutions. And that's what it's here for. So yeah, Albertine said Alan doesn't bother me with his point of view on life and different current events. I like a friendly debate or challenge. We're all different individuals and have our own opinions. As a culture, I feel we need to be a little more open-minded or agree to disagree. And like I said last time, folks will get real passionate about these celebrities but could care less about some real stuff. Yeah, and that is so factual. I think I posted something like that too. It's like you care more about people, and not anybody here, but it's like people will almost kill you for talking about their people that they love. It's like, do you know these people personally? Like, I didn't know you knew them, but instead of
It becomes an idol. It really
yeah,
becomes an idol.
it's an
People gotta
idol.
really watch that. You
It's
gotta watch
it,
that.
it's def in the God you serve, people could be blaspheming God, saying he doing all kinds of stuff. You know what I'm saying? You won't say a word. You look the other way like, well, I mean, they just playing. But let's like talk about your celebrity. Oh no, y'all ain't gonna everybody deserve this, and you know they wrong. Like, go sit down somewhere.
Next thing is drawn, like, yeah, you talk about Jesus, they be like, Father church now. Talk about Michael Jackson, they be like, well, he didn't do none of that.
Like, no,
Michael Jackson matter more than Jesus? Like, goodness,
That's
man.
that's what I be thinking. Like, y'all, these people really be saying they Christians. Y'all don't even know the definition. Like, because you love these other people more than God, and God says even if you love your parents, your children more than Him, you're not meant. You can't serve Him. You're not worthy. So y'all, I'm just I'm passionate about y'all. Know I love God. And if you're on my page, I love Jesus.
Absolutely, yes.
I'm a regular.
You know some God.
Yeah, down to earth person, but I understand where everything I do come from. My
And I
health.
love God too, by the way, regardless of people who
Yeah,
believe.
Ellen loves God too. He does. God is really working on him, like in other ways and things, and I see it. But everybody's in different levels, different spaces, right? And it takes time to get there. Everybody doesn't get there overnight, and that's where we got to allow people to grow, grace to grow, because God allows us that grace to grow. And so we got to give that to one another as well and not be so hard on each other. It's easy to be offended, but it's not, people don't forgive as easy as they're offended, so we got to change that thing around. But
Being offended with your own, talking to you, just having a conversation, trying to meet towards the middle, and offended has no place here. Being offended has no place here, and that's what I
anyway,
want to
yeah.
say. You're right, but I'm just saying, it just doesn't here. Like, if you're gonna be like that, just don't log in. We're gonna get to people that want to really get to the healing part of this stuff, and we want to heal together. We're gonna be a big community that help heal each other. That's what we're gonna be, each other's therapy. If you want to come here to help with being each other's therapy, that's what you come to this podcast.
Exactly. Because healing hurts. It doesn't always feel good. You have to go through the crying and going through
Hmm.
the hurt. Anytime you grieving or healing or something, it's always going to be a process, and sometimes it does hurt. So we got to understand it may not feel good all the time, but we get through it. We talk through it. We get through it. And at the end of the day, we all gonna have an understanding, and that's all. That's all it's about. So that's all we got really for today. I think the podcast
Hmm.
was well rounded. It
Yeah.
still was great, even though I'm gonna talk to Penelope too, so she doesn't feel offended. I don't want her to be offended any type of way. But everything to me, I don't know, Alan. Do you have anything else to say before we get off the live?
I want to say that thank people for listening. Thank you for staying the whole time. Thank you for adding to the conversation, commenting. Appreciate y'all's. I'll always say y'all feedback, regardless if we agree or disagree. This is a podcast where we're trying to heal, be each other's therapy, be a community. Let's keep adding, keep telling people that you know about the podcast, and let's add the right audience. We ain't for everybody, but we for somebody.
Okay. And that's all we got for y'all. So next week we'll be back with another topic. Again, y'all, it's all love, like Alexander said. It's all love, much love as well to Tony. Don't forget about the Black love, y'all. That's what we're doing it for, like to bring love into our culture. So that is going to be on February 17th. Tell a friend, share, buy a ticket, okay? But I really appreciate you guys for coming on the podcast. I hope we understand that now we are all the prize. The woman, the husband, the wife, we're both the prize. There is nobody greater than the head or the neck, right? So we're both the prize in this thing. Until next time, y'all stay wise, and I will talk to y'all on next week. Thanks again for coming out. Bye bye.